Of all the videos that we have on our site, we really believe this is the most important one. Not because I'm saying it and I'm speaking and talking, but because of the content of it, because it doesn't have anything to do with Resonate. This has to do with Jesus Christ. It has to do with who He tells us He is. You see, here at Resonate, we teach what the Bible teaches. And the Bible states very specifically that Jesus Christ is truth. Not just truth for an ancient people, but truth for all of us. In fact, when Jesus was on earth and He was teaching and ministering to people, right at the end of His life, He was with those men who followed Him the most faithfully around, and He said to them, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." He didn't claim to be a truth or a brand of truth, but He said He is truth. You know, there's a lot of people that claim that there isn't any such thing as objective truth that's true for everyone. That there may be truth for you and truth for me, but there's not truth that covers every person in the world. The fact of the matter is, we don't even live by that statement. Now you might say, well, what do you mean? Yeah, we do. No, actually, in a lot of ways, we don't live by the fact that there's subjective truth that's different for everyone. Let me give you just one little example. I'm holding my guitar here because I want you to hear something. See, this is a tuning fork, and it's not random, it's specific. When I bought it, the guy on the other side of the counter handed it to me and said, it's an A440. An A440. Well, what does that mean? It means that it's the A note, and it resonates at 440 hertz. The little prongs are bouncing back and forth really fast. Here, listen to it. See, that's an A. You can tune your guitar to that. Now, some people may say, well, no, that's not an A. For me, that's a D. Or for me, it's a G. But, well, that's silly. Because the fact of the matter is, math and science proves that waves have certain lengths, and the A is a 440. That is an A, no matter what you or anyone else thinks about it. It's objective truth that's true for everyone. If you tune your guitar to it, you're going to be in tune. But if you don't tune your guitar to it, you're going to be out of tune compared to everyone around you. And you know, that's really the message that Jesus came to teach us. He came to teach us that when we're born, every one of us are born out of tune with God. It's just the way it happens. We're born out of tune. Really, isn't that surprising? Every single guitar that is ever delivered is delivered out of tune. None of them come in tune. You have to tune them. And the same thing with every human being. We're born out of tune. And faith is the standard to which we're tuning ourselves. Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Tune your life to me, and you'll have success on the other side of the horizon. You see, the problem is, if we're not in tune with God in our lives, God won't have any part of us in His presence. Now that sounds harsh, but come on, think about it for a minute. If you have a band and you're playing and a guy walks in with a guitar and he sits down and he starts playing with you and you go, oh dude, you're out of tune. If he strums it and he listens to it carefully and says, no, I'm in tune. This is what I believe in tune sounds like. Well, you have one of two choices. Either you let him stay in the band and sound horrible, or you say, sorry, you gotta go because you're out of tune with all the rest of us. And that's exactly what the message is from God. Unless we get in tune, we're not acceptable to Him. So the question is, how do we get in tune with God? Well, you see, that's what Jesus came for. He came to get us in tune with God. That's not easy. He can't just make a few adjustments because our whole being is out of tune. That's why He allowed Himself to be executed on the cross 2,000 plus years ago. That happened in a real place, at a real time, in a real city called Jerusalem, on a real hill, on a real cross. A real man died who was also really God. His death made a way for us to be in tune with God. He forgives our sins because it's our sin that keeps us out of tune with God. But when Jesus died, He opened a way that if we come to Him, we confess our sins and we turn away from our own opinions, from what we decide is truth, and we turn to Him and follow Him as objective truth, He says, we'll be safe. We'll be safe when we get to the other side of that horizon. We'll be safe because our hearts will be tuned to Jesus. Jesus is God. We'll be safe. So of all the messages that we have for you at Resonate, the most important one is this. You gotta get in tune with God. And the only way to do that is through the truth of Jesus. And we want you to come and we want you to hear about Jesus. We want you to learn about Jesus. We want you to see how Jesus has tuned our lives and how He's still tuning them. There's still areas in my life that need a tune-up. But He has put us in tune so that we'll be safe when we pass through death to the other side of life's horizon. And it's all because of Jesus, the truth.